When Eugene and I got together in the spring of 2016, I was living in Austin, and he was spending half of his time in the city and the other half in the little cabin that he'd begun building. He started with just a tent on a deck, but by the time I arrived, there was a little room, an unfinished kitchen and bathroom, no running water, and no electricity. We soon finished the kitchen and the bathroom, got a few solar panels, and have been living and building full-time and off-grid here ever since. In 2018, after years of living on the land in exchange for work, trade, and rent, Eugene's family was finally able to purchase the 37-acre hilltop where we live. When Eugene first started, he had a goal to be able to build everything for the cabin completely by himself, so that required some ingenuity and unique building practices. For example, most normal structures have walls that are constructed on the ground and then lifted into place, but walls are too heavy for one person to lift. So piece by piece and board by board is how Eugene built the walls of his house. But since building alone takes a long time, he had to put the roof up first to protect the work underneath. Since I moved out here, I've been helping him build, and so the structures have come up a little more quickly. So here is our house, our cabin. The bedroom is there, the living room and the kitchen are back there, and then the bathroom is over there. What is this room?
I can't.
So, every off-grid home needs a utility closet, and we're going to give you a quick little look at ours.
So we got propane tanks. One of the things they run is the hot water heater, which is right here. We have our deep freezer for storage. Here we have a pump, 12-volt pump that pumps our water in the house. That water is filtered through a 3-stage filter: sediment filter, carbon filter, and UV filter. We have a little utility sink for real dirty stuff. And then here we have our power. We have our power inverter, a really large one that runs 2 air conditioners mostly, and also charges our batteries from the generator. And then we have our house inverter that runs pretty much everything else. Charge controllers that bring the power, convert the power from the solar panels into batteries. And there's our batteries. They came from Nissan Leaf vehicles that were decommissioned.
What is this room? What is all this?
This is our generator room. It's sitting in a sound insulated box made out of wood and rubber. There's an intricate way to turn it on. and it runs off propane gas. And here we have our wet line propane tank that we fill once a year, and then all the little stations around our house we can fill ourselves, so we don't have to take it to town.
So we're at our carport right now, and these cedar posts came from trees from our land, which is pretty cool. So this is what's holding the structure of the carport up.
In the spring of 2019, Eugene and I got married, and we used our wedding gift money to build our second cabin and to begin a workshop. Since our own home is so tiny, we wanted a place where family and friends could stay when they'd come out here. We eventually listed the cabin on Airbnb, and we were blown away with how many people wanted to come and experience life off the grid. We've continued building up our solar power system, adding more panels and batteries, and now we have the luxury of air conditioning, which definitely isn't taken for granted during hot Texas summers. We've built so much out here in the last 5 years, including a garden that I really enjoy spending time in, and a chicken coop for our hens who give us fresh eggs. We live on 37 acres, and so we spend a lot of time just walking on the land and dreaming up future projects. In August of 2019, we poured the foundation for a workshop, and we also started building my studio, which is attached to the workshop. Eugene needed a place where he could store all of his tools and work in bad weather, and I needed a room for my jewelry business and where I could record my music. The workshop also cleans up really nicely, and we use it for family gatherings and small events. My studio has become one of my favorite places to spend time in. Early this year, we started construction on another off-grid space. We renovated a vintage camper and we built an outdoor kitchen. It's a super private place in the forest where people can come and recharge.
I'm pulling weeds in this flower bed that I made probably a year ago. And I never planted anything in it, so the weeds just kind of took over. Hi, chickies, what are you doing? The hens are here for a visit behind me. Yeah, sometimes I think about all that we've done in the past 5 years. And sometimes I think about all that we haven't done in the past 5 years. It's like we've built all these huge structures, and yet I've never managed to plant anything in a flower bed. And it doesn't really matter, but it's priorities, I guess.